Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time here at Karting Genk is 14:20. First light is on, second, the third. And Joel Johansson from pole position gets a better start than Alex Smits from the outside, but Smits going for a big lick on the outside. Little bit of contact, but that looks like Jan Mudala, who's come through in third place. In fact, into second place from the third starting position on the inside of row 2. So Joel Johansson leading that one from Jan Mudala, and Alex Smit was my early call. Little bit of a gap. I think I see Christian Abolin and Emil Antonsen, I believe, just down in 5th place at the moment. Coming to the left-hand hairpin within the middle of the serpentine here at Karting Genk. We've lost a lot of drivers on the hairpin on the approach to the freeway straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So a lot of drivers gone out early on. I said this race can't be won at the start, but it's been lost by several. Joel Johansson being pursued by Jan Mudala, and Simon Viggers under pressure from Alex Smits. Alex Smits very nearly wriggling past back into third place, but Simon Viggers was bottom in the championship standings after Vickersdorf without picking up a point, but he's gone well here, and at the moment he's in third place, but Alex Smits takes him for third place. Alex Smits goes third, Christian Abolin goes fourth, and Simon Viggers drops down to 5th place. In front of those guys I've just mentioned, second place Jan Mudala, and your race leader Joel Johansson. On screen now you can see the top 10 feeding through, but the blue liveried kart, the energy kart of Joel Johansson, sweeping round to complete the second lap. So the start of lap 3, Johansson, Mudala, Smits, Abolin and Emil Antonsen. I take my eyes off the action to look at the timing screen, tell you that Viggers has dropped down to 6, Felice Tieni 7th, Pedro Hiltbrand 8, Mano Power 9th, and Yard Pex completing the top 10. Back into the middle of the serpentine as we drive down towards the a la carte tribune. You see the heads of the spectators having this really good view. Ooh, a little bit of an incidental nudge there, and the action replay showing some of that contact in the previous moments, but fortunately nothing coming seriously to grief. But Smits in third place, Antonsen in 4th place, Abolin in 5th, all tracking Jan Mudala, the race leader, the second place driver, and Joel Johansson, the race leader. And into second place goes Alex Smits. Alex Smits, who started on the outside of the front row, picks up a place and goes second. Now that's given a little extra cushion to Joel Johansson, because that's doubled his lead, while Alex Smits, the German, has gone past Jan Mudala, the Czech driver. And it's looking worse for the Czech driver, because Emil Antonsen goes third. Emil Antonsen trying to get into third place and does execute it, and Felice Tieni goes through into 4th. Joel Johansson, your race leader. Alex Smits 2nd, Emil Antonsen 3rd, Felice Tieni 4th, and that drops back Christian Abolin to 5th, and Jan Mudala, who started so well, down to 6th. Hiltbrand running 7th, Viggers 8th, Pex 9th, but Nicola Marcon up into the top 10 now. I'm looking for the position of Marco Zanchetta, and he is 28th. 28th. The driver who could win this race and be the champion is 28th. So it's looking a very, very, very difficult task now for Marco Zanchetta in kart 130. Joel Johansson and Emil Antonsen both have that same equation, which is a simple equation. The race win equals the championship. We're on one of the early laps, lap 6, I do believe. 199 and 130 well back. Marco Zanchetta were people involved in that little scrape, and 199's a huge disappointment for Kenny Charles, being a Belgian driver here at Karting Genk. Pedro Hiltbrand has also been lost, one of our front runners throughout the heats, and earlier today he's down in 29th place. In fact, he's off the circuit now. Joel Johansson, Alex Schmitz, Emil Antonsen and Felice Tieni set off on lap 7 of this 23 lap race, and all of these 4 drivers are well clear of 5th place Jan Modala, who must have that sinking feeling, because having started so well is seeing 4 guys in front of him really stretching away. Joel Johansson's lead was 0.37 of a second. Alex Schmitz in a position to put pressure on Johansson a few laps ago. Not really so now. Antonsen can put pressure on Schmitz though, 3rd on 2nd, and even more so. Felice Tieni making a bid to go 3rd, and Felice Tieni goes 3rd. Felice Tieni goes in 3rd place, kart number 108. Well, that sparked a reaction from Emil Antonsen, the Norwegian. Really driving hard now. The body language tells you something. Joel Johansson is the driver in the blue livery energy kart, the blue race suit, and he's in front of your 2nd place driver, getting a bit closer, Alex Schmitz. 3rd place Felice Tieni, who had the disaster in qualifying, but he's not having a disaster in the final. He's up to 3rd place before we're at quarter race distance, or just about at quarter race distance. Joel Johansson and Felice Tieni repeats the dose and goes into 2nd place. Felice Tieni goes past Alex Schmidt and into 2nd place. And Emil Antonsen trying to get does. Emil Antonsen goes into 3rd place. So Alex Schmitz drops back to 4th. Now, Joel Johansson the leader, Felice Tieni 2nd, Emil Antonsen 3rd, and Felice Tieni having split those potential champions by getting up into 2nd place. And 4th to 3rd even, Schmitz and Antonsen trading places again. Just looking at my screen for the best of the pictures, this is Joel Johansson in shot. Felice Tieni is certainly the guy in 2nd place. 3rd place is Emil Antonsen. 4th place Alex Schmitz, as they come round to complete lap 9 and start lap 10 of a 23 lap final. Well, Joel Johansson, who made that comfortable start from pole, had something of a healthy cushion, has still got a clear lead, but Felice Tieni has done a 52.4. Joel Johansson's best was a 52.7. So the Italian looking as if he's knocking at the door. Joel Johansson still holding the lead, but Felice Tieni really putting the pressure on. Our television pictures capturing this. Sweeping round in this long right-hander onto the home straight to complete lap 10. Joel Johansson dips his head briefly. And there goes the move by Tieni. Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. Felice Tieni takes the lead. Felice Tieni takes the lead at the start of lap 11. Felice Tieni leaves Joel Johansson in his wake a little bit, and Emil Antonsen turns up the heat and goes 2nd. Emil Andersson, the Norwegian driver, goes 2nd, going past the Swedish driver. So in half a lap, Joel Johansson loses the lead, loses 2nd place, and Felice Tieni finds himself with a 10 kart length lead. as we approach the half race distance. Joel Johansson in third place. All is not lost, but he's got to come on strong. Was noted for finishing strong in some of his earlier races. Dips his head, but Felice Tieni really putting the pressure on the rest, because he's already got a lead of at least 6-8 kart lengths. The margin was 0.6 of a second. Emil Antonsen could win this race and be champion. Felice Tieni cannot win this race and be champion. Emil Antonsen could come second and be champion. Yes, Joel Johansson. So although the race for the victory is paramount here today, the race for the championship between Antonsen and Johansson very much to be battled for. Felice Tieni, having completed the first half of the race, continues to hold this lead, and as you can see from our television pictures, well in the lead. Second place driver Emil Antonsen, third place driver Joel Johansson. Well, Felice Tieni felt that he had a point to prove, having he did say to me when I sympathised with him for having scored no points in the, or having got a worse score in the qualifying heats, he said, well, it's going to make the races interesting. Well, it's making this one interesting. He's in a lead. It was 0.79 of a second. It's up to 0.89 of a second. Emil Antonsen second, Joel Johansson third. Alexander Schmitz in fourth place, Nicola Marcon fifth, Jan Mudala 6, Yard Peck 7, Simon Viggers 8, Alessandro Manetti 9, and Menno Power drops down to 10th place. Chris Hayes is out of the top 10, 11th, and Max Van Mever 12th. Simone Brenner 13th, Kevin Ilgen 14th, and Koos Specken completing the top 15. Marco Zanchetta, who if he won this race would be the champion, is down in 26th place, and he's not going to win this race from 26th. Well, if they were to finish in this position at the end of the laps, Emil Antonsen would win this championship by 1 point. So here's the thing to consider. Felice Tieni wants to win this round, but he came here with a 0 score. Can't win the championship. Emil Antonsen, if he finishes where he is, would have 33 points. Joel Johansson, if he finished where he is, would have 32 points. So, the race for the victory is one thing. The race between Antonsen in kart 201 and Johansson in kart 165 is effectively the race for the championship. Felice Tieni increases his lead to over a second. Emil Antonsen in second place holds this narrow advantage. Always bear in mind that your course commentator, your TV commentator, is not an official, so what I tell you is unofficial. Lap 16 of 23 is what we're racing now, but my belief is that Emil Antonsen in second place simply needs to defend that second place to win the title by 1 point from Joel Johansson. Joel Johansson doesn't need to win the race, but he does need to get past Emil Antonsen. We're on lap number 16 of a 23 lap race, so 7 laps to go. Tieni, don't want to put the commentator's curse in, but as our pictures on television show you, at the bottom of the screen 108 is well clear. Antonsen glances over his shoulder, he can see Johansson there. Does he know the mathematics? Marketa is out of it. He's in 26th place, may have got a little extra, yes, he's up to 23rd place, but he's not going to win from 23rd with 7 laps to go. So it's those guys in 2nd and 3rd place. Tieni going through. In your screen now is Emil Antonsen of Norway, who, if he was to finish in front of Johansson, would have done enough. Johansson needs to find something else to get that extra point to win the title. Tieni says, hey, I'm not interested in the title, I can't win it, but I'm interested in winning this race, and I'm not doing too badly at the moment, because this is the start of lap number 17. No, it's the start of lap 18 coming up. And have to say that Tieni has thrown down a challenge that was really unanswerable from the moment he pulled away, having got himself into the lead. Just beyond the championship standings, Alex Schmitz is running 4th, Nicola Marcon 5th, Jan Madala 6th, Yard Peck 7, Alessandro Manetti 8, Christopher Hayes, the Australian, goes through 9th. Yes, he does. And Koos Spekken, the young Dutch lad, into the top 10. Koos Spekken from Netherlands had a difficult start to the event, but he's running in the top 10 in the final. Christian Aberlin, been very good throughout this event, dropped right down to 18th place and goes out of the reckoning. Well, Tieni doesn't get a lot of my attention because I've been concentrating on the championship situation, and I believe that Emil Antonsen is pulling away a little bit from Joel Johansson. This is the start of lap 20. Tieni looking to have all the answers so far. Good little scrap for 4th and 5th. That's between Alex Schmitz and Nicola Marcon, the German in 4th place, the Italian in 5th. But it's really the victory and parallel with that the championship which gets our attention at the moment. Tieni leads by over 2 seconds, but more importantly, Emil Antonsen has 0.8 of a second on Joel Johansson. And the laps are ticking by. Tieni comes round, sees the board showing 20, so this is lap 21 of a 23 lap final, and even my mathematics are up to the point where I can tell you that's 3 laps to go. Joel Johansson is seeing Emil Antonsen a little bit too far in front of him, and I don't know if they know the numbers, but this result would not be good enough for Joel Johansson, who would end the season on 32 points. Emil Antonsen would close his championship on 33 points. Tieni simply concerned with winning the race, and boy is he on his way. So 2 laps to go, 2 laps to go. Tieni has 2.3 seconds of an advantage. It's 2.5 seconds of an advantage, and Joel Johansson has a full second to find on Emil Antonsen if he's to win the championship. Now, I won't say any more. I don't want to throw in the commentator's curse. Some of these drivers say to me, hey Ken, don't mention my name, don't mention my name. I don't want you to put the commentator's curse in. But for those of you viewing online, those of you here at the circuit, it's my duty to tell you that what you are witnessing, if it stays like this, is a championship victory for the Norwegian driver over the Swedish driver. But let's do the honours to Tieni. Coming round, seeing the last lap board, to the right of your picture. Felice Tieni turns right and now left and drives away from us, sweeping round to the left. Then there's a hairpin, a right hairpin here onto the freeway straight. The main road is to the right of your television screen. Good view from up there. Turning right off the circuit into that little mini chicane, going into the Serpentine complex. It's Felice Tieni's race to lose from here. It's Emil Antonssen's championship to lose from here. But everything your commentator is telling you is unofficial, so let's wait for it all to be official. But one right-hand sweep here by Felice Tieni. Sweeping up, there's the checkered flag, and the race is won by the Italian Felice Tieni. In second place is Emil Antonsen, and he believes he's the champion, and I believe he's the champion as well. And Joel Johansson will have to rue the fact that having won the pre-final and made the podium in the final, it comes up short by just 1 point. Nicola Marcon was 4th, Alex Schmitz was 5th, Jan Midala was 6th, Yardpeck 7th, Alessandro Manetti 8th, Koos Becker 9th, and Christopher Hayes was 10th. Marco Zanchetta, who could have won this championship by winning the race, regardless of where anybody else finished, could only finish 22nd. But for a moment, we put the championship to one side and we say well done to the race winner, Felice Tieni from Italy.